Hello class, my name is Brent Horton. I'm in Kinesiology 353 class, and I have here with me is my model. She's going to help me demonstrate how to do a closed basket weave ankle sprain wrapping technique or taping. So if you could get in position, and excuse us while we position ourselves here, and I position the camera. Okay, so that looks about right. Okay. All right. So just kind of like a little introduction to, what we're talking about here. So it's mainly an inversion sprain that we're concerned, or usually happens with athletes, which is here. So it can happen with an eversion sprain with the foot going out laterally as well, but 90% of the time it's with inversion coming out this way, or coming in that way, and it has a high injury reoccurrence rate. So if someone had a previous injury, chances are that re-injury will occur again and again sometimes. So this can affect changes in strength, proprioception, and balance, coordination, as well as gait. So it's very important to return the athlete to the field as soon as possible. So with this taping technique, the first thing you want to do is just to make sure that the skin is nice and clean. So no lotion or anything like that. First wipe that off if there is. For males, if they have hairy legs, to either shave the hair first, or you can use an under wrap, which I'm not going to show in this video, but this is what you would want to use so that the hair doesn't interfere or pull or anything like that. But the first thing you would do is you would use gauze or lacing pads. You'd put one right here at the top of the talus, okay, and you'd want to also put one here underneath with the Achilles tendon, okay, and then you would use the under wrap just to go around from the instep here, just about right here, just to hold them in place. And so the actual wrap is going to consist of several steps. The first step is what we call anchors, and it's basically just going to create our boundaries. So the first anchor we're going to create is going to be right here, finding the gastrocnemius palpating, and you can feel it right about here. So just inferior to that is about where you'd want to go. So I'm going to put one right there. Okay, that's our first anchor. The second anchor is going to be right at the instep, right where the metatarsals are. Okay, so right in this region. Okay, so that's our boundaries. We don't want to go outside these boundaries when we're taping. The next step is it's also very important that the person keeps their foot in a 90-degree ankle. Okay, so the ankle isn't plantar flexed or overly dorsiflexed. So just remind them, if they could, just to hold it right there at 90 degrees. And so the second one we're going to do is what's called stirrups. So the stirrups is basically coming here on the medial aspect. We're coming here, starting at our anchor point, and we're going along that, the medial malleolus, and just right around the calcaneus. And we're going to do the same thing on the lateral side, leading up to the anchor point. And forgive me, this tape doesn't always cooperate. Okay, so that's our stirrup. And the next thing we're going to do is it's called a spur. And basically what we're going to do is with the Achilles tendon, go around it and basically just come up to the stirrups. Okay, so there you go. You have your stirrups and your spurs, and we're going to repeat those. Repeat this process 3 times. Okay, so you want to overlap just about 50% or so, halfway. And we're going to do the same thing, starting with our spur, our stirrup. Making sure it's nice and snug. Okay, same thing here, overlapping 50%, going around the Achilles tendon. Okay, and we're going to do one more of each. Okay, and then one more spur. Okay, so once that step is done, the next thing we're going to do is what's called the heel lock. And so the heel lock is starting on the medial anterior tibialis aspect right here, right at that anchor point. We're going to come around first the Achilles underneath there. We're going to come around and wrap around the heel, and then we're going to come up and follow it along just parallel to the other one that we just started with. So it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's parallel here. It wraps around and it's creating like a U. Okay, so that's on the medial aspect. We're going to do the same exact thing on the lateral aspect. So again, we're going to start on the lateral anterior tibialis, or the tibialis aspect, and basically we're going to come around, same thing, going around the Achilles tendon, wrapping around the ankle, coming around, and meeting up again parallel with the other one. So we have basically a crossing here at the ankle, creating like an X. All right, and so the next one is what's called a figure 8. And the figure 8 is basically going to start with the instep, or metatarsal region here. It's going to give a lot more stability to the ankle joint as well as the instep region. Okay, so once we come around here, making a full circle, we're going to actually just continue it by just coming around here at that ankle. And that's creating our circle, creating a figure 8. And finally, we're just going to close it up. So it's basically from this circle here of the figure 8 on up. Okay, and we want to be overlapping 50%. So from that first point here, overlap 50%. It's kind of just making it a little bit prettier. 50%. Go all the way up to that first anchor point. Okay, and we'll probably do one more here, just to cover up the rough edges there at the top. And there you go. It's complete. So finally, just the last step is simply palpate the big toe, making sure that there's circulation still in the foot. Feeling if it's cold or anything like that, and you just want to basically press on that toe, maybe for 5 seconds or so, releasing, and see how long it takes for the circulation or the blood flow to return. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you want to make sure that when palpating, looking for a return of blood for 3 seconds. So count of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It looks like we're okay. Anything less than 3 seconds, then you want to, it looks like it's maybe too tight and you want to rewrap. All right, and that's it. Thank you.